cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Used to paint. Hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction. A miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin. Look, pinhead kids in a minute. Drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil or a linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features one team who likes to get it done through the air. The Panthers are top 10 in pass yards, going up against the Packers secondary that could be in for a long day. So for the call of this Week 13 matchup, let's bring in our commentary team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Carolina Panthers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So the D-line's going to spread out.
No. Check. Patriot. Watch it now, Barney.
Time running out here on the play clock. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Backing up. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. The play clock's running down. They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And on the ground they go with a running back. Cuts it out to the sideline. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us. And then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line. And they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
12 yards there as they move the chains. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Really good, solid run right there, and they did it from the 4 wide receiver set. And if you're an offensive coordinator, they used to tell people, hey, we're going to throw the football. Now they use 4 receivers on the field to spread things out, give them more running lanes and more options. And also, it usually takes the bigger defenders off the field, makes the defense lighter and easier to run against.
Second down now after the pass completion. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And the offense on the field for the first time today, and they were high-powered a week ago. And they're beginning to believe that they've established a groove. They expect those type of performances each and every week. Running it, throwing it, they're precise. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. We'll give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked. And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you hand it to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a second down. And here are the defensive starters, and their coordinator is hoping that they have short-term memories from last week. A very tough week indeed, Brandon. All they want to do now is be solid right out of the gate. No big plays given up early. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. He'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football. And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down. 5 defensive backs. That is caught at the 7-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Back to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
They'll come out in the pistol. Back to throw here. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 23 yards on the play.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 5 here to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Watch it now, Barney. Green, all right, now, look at 56. Gone. Green, go. Watch it now, Barney.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Being chased out left. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Now back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. The wind is at his back here in the 2nd quarter. And he missed it. That was neither far enough. It wasn't even on target. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking scheme.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 49 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
They'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. 3rd down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it, and they ran it really well and picked up the first down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll set up to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Here's the Panthers punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a second down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. On play action, they'll throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come up in an offset eye. Now they try the right side here. And some room to maneuver. 20. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. A gain of 35 that time. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And they'll run it here. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. It's a quarterback sneak, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. It's their quarterback with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. A try here for the extra point. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Now a play fake here on first down. Surveying the field. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back with more from Charlotte after this.
Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Key the tight end. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. Philly, here we go. Detroit. Check.
Back to throw now on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And now they're in the hurry up.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So now the offense is facing a first down and 20 after that last mistake.
Watch it now, Barney. Watch it now, Barney. Now let's go.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
Back to throw. Gonna throw right side here. Complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll look to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And this seemingly endless drive continues.
Set, blue, landed. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw again. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Play clock hit 0. Don't know what went wrong there, Charles, but it's going to cost them 5 yards.
Has to be some organization from the sideline. Sometimes when you're trying to decide on what play to send in, the play caller has to move a little bit faster.
Set, green 39. Green 39. Defense for championship, baby.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the The offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a handoff working right, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
So that one will get them halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
on a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And incomplete here on 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Pulled in at the 24. Take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a 2nd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you down.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
They come out here in the eye. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Give him 22 on that one. And it'll be a Green Bay 1st down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain. And it's 3rd and 2 now. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And his kick is indeed good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point. So no problems converting there.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
They'll try and throw for it here. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age. But then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And 2nd and 10. He'll look to nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was 3rd and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the 1st down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a 1st down.
So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they're going to speed things up here.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
It's a gain of 17 that time. And that leads to a Carolina first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. A gain of 3, second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Packers get set to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Fresh set of downs here. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting...
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. A big play there for Carolina. 56 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And no escape stopping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90. Leopard.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Letting one. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they got his man complete. And give him a gain of 37.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
He's got his man on the crossing route. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriots. All right, here we go. Leopard.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Back to throw again. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. He'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long.
Here we go now. Watch it now. Detroit.
So the D-line's going to spread out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10. And quickly they get to the line.
Let's go. Detroit. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's the Panthers punter now as he's on to kick it away. And this one will be down by a member of the kicking team at about the 40-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. 23 yards on the play.
And they just had another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out. Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Escaping, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll set, and pressure coming, and they got him once again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Here we go. Blue, landed. Detroit. Detroit. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. Leopard. Leopard.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. Carolina getting set to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots, but what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right. On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd. Back to throw. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They're going to look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be. Secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. Down of the season, and the Packers continue to roll. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know, are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Green, 39. 599, Philly, here we go. Detroit. No. Check. Patriot. Leopard.
They'll set up a throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. He'll look to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
Yeah, great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And this is played. Well, there